The concept of holidays is rigged. Here's why. Essentially, it's like, yeah, I don't like this life, let's get out of it. That's already could be the end of the video, I guess, but I will try to explain a little further. So the thing is, holidays are basically this thing I just stated. Therefore, it's like, what if you, instead of going onto a holiday and spending, like, depending on how and where you go on a holiday, what if instead of trying to do the holiday itself as once in a year, for example, or once every few months, what if instead if you took the time and money and tried to actually make micro holidays during your actual life? This could mean that instead of going, so you take the whole week. A whole week has 170, how many hours has a week? So since I'm a math genius, I actually calculated it, and it's 168 hours because I couldn't remember it. The thing is, what if you just took this 168 hours and also the $1,000 you probably spent, or the $300, or the $500, and what if you instead just invested this money in trying to improve your actual life instead of going on a vacation every once and then? Of course, you could also go on a vacation, but this vacation then would be more of your actual life. Of course, you could also just say the concept is that my actual life includes the vacation, but this is not what I'm kind of trying to propose. What I'm trying to propose is, instead of going like once a year, twice a year, 5 times a year on vacation, what if you instead took the same amount of money and the same amount of time and actually would use this time and money to maybe, what if you just took 20 minutes out of this 168 hours of the summer vacation, for example, and what if you just every Sunday spend these 20 minutes on something you really like to do? Or what if you just said, every Sunday I have this 20 minutes of totally free time. I don't worry about anything else, and I can do anything I ever want. This is actually something I tried many times. But the thing is just that it's very complicated, because you still then prepare something for these 20 minutes, because otherwise you are like, yeah, what to do now? And then the 20 minutes are over. But the thing is, of course you have to prepare something, and then it's also part of your life. But what if you just said that you, for example, learned something new? You could be like, oh, let's actually Google something, instead of trying to Google all the things that are in your head during your workday or during studying or whenever waking up. Like, oh yeah, there was this idea. What if this and this happened? And then, yeah. What if you just took the time and batched it all together and be like, or would be like, okay, I could actually do this research time like there, on this moment. What if instead of trying to go to the beach every once in a year, I mean, of course the beach is nice, what if you instead try to go swimming once a week? And swimming would be something you wouldn't do, because the gym membership for the swimming club is very expensive, and therefore you wouldn't do it. But what if you just took the $500 and be like, okay, I could actually use the $500 and actually spend it on the whole year of fitness subscription? What if instead of going to the cinema, for example, I mean, this is the same concept. What if instead of going to the cinema and buying popcorn and also buying the tickets for going there and actually going back, or getting back, what if you just took this $20 and spent this $20 on a subscription streaming service, and you could actually be like, for 2 months or for 1 month, you could watch movies every single night if you really wanted to. The thing is, it's just not a very smart thing, I guess. It's not that it's not a smart thing, I guess. So the thing is that the general assumption you or I try to make is that everybody is already trying their best. Therefore, of course, all these people going on vacations just may already be trying their best, if this is a sentence. Now, then essentially these videos wouldn't have a point at all, because everybody would already try their best, and there was no point in trying to bring a message out to the people. But the thing is, what if you just, I still stick to the message of the video, which is, what if you, instead of spending this whole time and all this whole money, what if instead you try to improve your actual life? It's like, for example, if you had a job that is mentally draining, of course, it's not that easy to switch a job from one moment to the next. But what if instead of spending all of this money, you could be like, okay, let's work a little bit less, and then we don't have money in the summer, but at least I or you, depending on if it's a family or if you are single or if you are with a partner, then we could actually maybe work 1 hour less a month, or maybe 10 hours less a month, because we wouldn't actually need the money for the vacation, and then we would just have more time. Or we could just say that we took the 500 and invested all of the 500 for one single year. I mean, we don't have to do it the next year, but for example, if you had like $1,000 for vacations, so this would be your vacation budget, then if you invested this $1,000 and at a given market return of 5% on average, including also inflation, so usually it's more like 8%, but 5% is something you can calculate with, I guess. So you would just say that 5% of 1,000 would be actually 50. So therefore, of course, this is not much. But when it comes to investing, there is the effect that everything you invested gives off something, and then the something it gave off is already also there, and then it accumulates again. So this is, I don't know the English word for it, but it's just the effect, the accumulating effect. This could be the word, the actual phrase for it. So now, what if you took this message? It's just a message, it's just an idea. I mean, what you eventually will make out of this is completely up to you. But the thing is, I tried to, so this is telling from my experience. For example, I often was like, in my teenage years, I often went to a mountain. But the thing is, it's a whole day. It's like driving 1 hour to the mountain. It's like 25 hours in terms of gas or in terms of fuel. And then you go there, and then you go up, and the next day you're totally drained, and also your muscles ache everywhere. What if instead you were just like, okay, I could actually use a little bit of my time to do some little sport. Like, what if I for 1 hour every Sunday could actually do every sport I wanted? It just had to involve some movement, and therefore you could take not the 24 hours, because it's still waking time, I guess. But what if you took, for example, if you did a big hike that involved the entire day every 2 weeks, then this essentially would equal to 16 hours. What if you now took the 16 hours, and that's basically, 16 hours is almost a whole day. I mean, it could also work like you had one big hike a month that would be 8 hours, and you then would just use the 8 hours for 2 hours every Sunday. This is an actual mathematical thing, I guess, because it then equals again 16. So now you would have 2 hours. No, it's not even this. It's even more hours. It's 4 times 4 hours every single Sunday. Oh, maybe I'm not a math genius, but the thing is, you would have 4 hours every single Sunday, and you could do whatever you want. It's not 4 hours because I calculated. Oh man, this is getting disappointing, I guess. But the thing is, what if you took the same time and I just thought about actually quitting the video, because I didn't want to put myself out there, like calculating in my head very unconvincingly. The thing is, if you took 1 day every single month, you had 8 hours. You have usually 4 weeks, so the 4 weeks are actually equal to 2 hours then, because then you get 8 again. The thing is, what if you now took this hike and instead did 2 hours of random sport? This could be yoga, you could also try something completely new. You could also try to do something when it comes to sport with your partner. Maybe try meditating together or something like this. And then you could just use the time and actually look forward to every single Sunday. And also, such a big event is just more mentally draining. Of course, if you prefer still the hike, you could still do the hike, but that's just the idea. What if you took the bigger thing and actually spread it into your life, and therefore it actually was part of your life much more? That's the idea.